Batman Superman World's Finest issue 25 heads some years into the past, where Superman and Batman deal with the Joker in Gotham. As Batman deals with the clown personally, Superman sucks up all of his poison gas and blows it into space, where it freezes. The heroes take the Joker to Arkham, where Superman doesn't get how Batman handles the Joker on a constant basis, since at least his enemies think rationally. Batman knows that Joker is predictable, and if you can imagine the world through his eyes, which Superman can't, you can easily beat him. The heroes tell the Doctor they passed Joker off to be careful with the villain, and he assures them that he will be. As the heroes leave, the Doctor removes his disguise to reveal it's actually Lex Luthor, who is in need of Joker's services, and he should come with him if he wants to kill. Later in Metropolis, Lex explains their mission and how he got his hands on a 100-year-old manuscript that no one has been able to decipher, since it drives the reader insane, and while his great intellect has allowed him to read some of it, he needs the Joker, a clearly insane individual, to finish it off. Lex's tailors get to work on the Joker to make him a new suit, as Lex briefs him, telling him that the scroll will give them the location of a magical artifact of unspeakable power. Lex suddenly snaps a collar around the Joker's neck, telling him it's an explosive, and if the Joker does help him, he will split the treasure with him 50-50, but if he betrays him, his head will explode. Lex changes into his battlesuit and Joker doesn't like it, missing Lex's 1%er look, but the villain says no one goes spelunking in a $100,000 suit. Joker thinks that they are matched now, but Lex doesn't think so, so Joker rushes to the bathroom, returning after several minutes with a half-bald head, telling Lex that they are twins now. Lex tells his tailor to dress Joker and give him a toupee before sending him downstairs. Later on, as they head out into the streets, Joker uses a brightly coloured umbrella, annoying Lex, who wanted to remain inconspicuous. Lex leads them to a subway stop, and Joker is annoyed that they are going to be taking the subway, despite Lex having access to jet boots. But Lex reveals that the map is pointing to a sealed cavern, and this was the only abandoned train station at the time of the map's writing. Joker studies the scroll and finds that the door can only be unlocked by an inverse ziggurat, having no clue about what that is. Lex calls him an idiot, drawing a lightning bolt shape onto the wall as it fades away, allowing them entry into the station. The villains find themselves at the abandoned station, hearing a train coming down the tracks, and suddenly a black and red locomotive pulls into the station. They enter the bright yellow interior of the train, finding it covered in strange equations. Lex asks if Joker is overcome by the effects of the scroll, but the Joker loves it, wanting to eject it right into his veins. Lex is surprised at how lucid the Joker seems, expecting more of a psychopath given his reputation. Joker asks what his deal is with him and Superman, wondering if he just hates capes. Lex knows that it's not the costume, it's the arrogant alien wearing it, an alien that sets down his own decrees on humanity and how they should function. Lex states that he hates Superman's mere existence, but Joker cuts him off with his own explanation of his problem with Batman, finding him lacking any vision, and he is stifling his creativity as an artist. He thinks that they all deserve to be surrounded by unexpected surprises, so their understanding of the world expands, but Batman wants everything to be from his mundane viewpoint. Lex wonders if Joker's world involves killing these people. He thinks he's helping, but Joker snaps at the man, thinking that he's just like the Bat. Lex threatens to set off the bomb collar, but Joker thinks that he thrives on stealing joy, meaning Lex is the real madman here. Joker calms down and tells him that he wants Batman to break his own rules one day, but then the next, he's not really sure what he wants the Batman to do. Joker gets back to reading the map, finding that it's actually part a suicide note, and he says the writer failed a life-altering test, but what that test is, the scroll doesn't explain. The train soon arrives at another station in a cave, and Lex finds statues all representing the 7 deadly sins. He wonders if they are in some sort of dimensional rift and where they go from there, but Joker will only say that they are close and they need to find the right door. The duo discover a yellow door, but Joker knows that it needs to be the exact right door or else something bad will happen. Opening the door, they find Abracadabra fighting a bunch of dinosaur policemen in the far future. They move on to the next door, finding Jonah Hex caught in the middle of a gunfight in the Wild West. But eventually they find the right door, discovering the Heart of Eternium. An ethereal voice tells them that the heart was carved from the Rock of Eternity, where the villains find themselves now, and it will give the holder whatever they choose and make them real. but none have yet to pass the challenge. Lex asks what the challenge is, and a monstrous being shows themselves, telling him that no one has ever been worthy of the heart's secrets. The monster grabs Lex's arms, intending on eating him whole, but the monster is electrocuted and killed by the Joker's umbrella. The monster dealt with, Lex grabs the heart, imagining himself finally killing Superman, but before the deal can be made, Joker shocks him, taking the heart for himself and revealing that he has taken his collar off. Lex knows he's not smart enough to have done that himself, and Joker tells him that he just had to find someone who was afraid of him more than Lex, having had Lex's assistant deactivate the collar before killing him and the tailors. Joker takes the heart and activates it himself, finding killing Superman to be just a waste of it, wondering if Lex wants to see the reality he longs for. Lex is shown glimpses of the reality, finding it filled with deformed, rotting beings wriggling around in a mountain of razor blades. Lex manages to snap out of it and dive for the heart, but Joker easily throws Lex off thanks to the power of it, telling Lex that he's got a world to rebuild. With no other choice, Lex blasts the heart with his gauntlets, destroying it for good. Destroying it blasts Lex back out of the subway opening, with no way of getting back into the Rock of Eternity. The subway stairs soon disappear as well, leaving Lex all alone in the street. Joker meanwhile is put back in his cell in Arkham, where he rants about Luthor and a magic train and how the world was to be his to Batman, but the hero doesn't believe him at all. Lex returns to Luthor Corp, watching Superman fly around the city so carefree, basking in the adoration of millions of metropolitans who will never know that this time, Lex Luthor was the one who saved them from death. At some other time at the Fortress of Solitude, Superman tends to his galactic zoo, promising to find the animals in it a safe planet to live on, but until then, their safest place on Earth is in the zoo. Suddenly, a portal opens above the Man of Steel and sucks him and various members of the zoo through it. At the Batcave, Batman tells Robin that the Batcomputer found an antidote to Scarecrow's latest fear gas, but upon checking the coding, he finds it's just gibberish. Robin thinks that they have bigger problems as the robot T-Rex they keep in the cave has come alive. Robin believes that whatever caused the Batcomputer to malfunction with the coding must have activated the dinosaur. But it's not the only thing given life, as the giant Penny comes to life as well, taking on the form of Abraham Lincoln and assuring the heroes that he'll deal with the dinosaur. Honest Abe battles the T-Rex as Batman and Robin watch on in surprise, deciding they should call Superman to deal with this. Suddenly, Superman and a few of his animals from the Galactic Zoo spill out of a portal above them. Clark says he's got his own problems to deal with, not wanting any of the animals harmed since they aren't hostile, just scared and confused. Abraham Lincoln suddenly grabs Superman as the T-Rex eats Robin's favorite Batmobile. Batman contends with an animal that can fire lightning from its head, asking Superman if these creatures really aren't hostile. Superman apologizes to Abe as he smashes him in the face, telling him that his patience has been exhausted. The T-Rex's teeth suddenly turn to kryptonite, one of Batman's contingencies, which begins to weaken Superman, so Batman deals with it, blowing it up as Robin gets Superman away from the kryptonite. Back in fighting shape, Superman tells the heroes to relax as he grabs the giant Joker card nearby and uses it to help sweep the alien animals back through the open portal, which then closes once they are all back through. Batman knows that this was magic and someone is pulling magical pranks on them. He thinks it's Batmite, demanding the imp show himself, as Superman knows Mxyzptlk is helping out too, calling out to both fifth-dimensional imps. Mxyzptlk shows himself, swearing that it wasn't him this time, as he arrived on a wave of chaos magic that they didn't start, but the heroes need to help them since they are being hunted. Robin wants to know by who, as Batmite appears with the dead Green Lantern Mite, telling the heroes that whomever hunts them can murder a whole dimension of life and color. So what chance does Earth stand?